Good morning. It is a beautiful Sunday here in Middle Tennessee, and I'm out in my yard because this is one of my many happy places. I feel peace here. I love being outside. Um, it's a little breezy, so if you can't hear me, I apologize. But I feel like I have been very much called to make this video. Um, I had to video how to make videos because I don't make videos. Or the old me doesn't make videos. But I thought it was very, very important to come to you completely authentic and the real me that I'm digging out and discovering. And we'll see how it goes. No filter, no makeup. No hair done. It's just, this is me. And for the first time in 49 years, I'm learning to really like me. And as I'm digging down and taking off all the bullcrap that I have covered myself up with my entire life. And I hope you can hear me okay. It's a bit windy out here, but you know, I don't know how else to do this, so I'm just gonna wing it. I don't do notes or anything like that because once I get into flow, it just starts flowing. And if I'm gonna end up creating content, that's the way I think it should go, because that's when I feel the best, and the best stuff comes out is when I'm in flow and connected to who I am. And we'll just see whether that takes us. I have no direction for this video other than I keep getting that I should be telling you, stop shooting on yourself. If you've never heard that term before, shooting on yourself is layering yourself in that I should do this, I have to do this, I've got to do this the right way, I can't make mistakes, I have to have everything, perfect, or or it's not gonna work, or they're gonna judge me, they're gonna do that. And I have layered myself with so much judgment over the years, and I'm done with that. And I love it. And it's a feeling of joy and stability that I didn't even know was possible until very recently. And I was drawn, compelled, whatever you want to call it, to share that, because I know we're all the same. We all go through all the crap in life, and we layer ourselves with everything that everyone expects of us and what we expect of ourselves. And we take that on internally, and it gets ugly. It gets really ugly sometimes. And I am finally learning how to shed all of that. And it's a great feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. And I really want to make sure that, I just want to share that. I want to share that with everyone. And what I feel I've been through, I feel like all that stuff that makes us and compels us to shit on ourselves, to, have to do it right, have to, get everyone's approval, everyone, get everyone to like you and stuff like that. It's nothing but layers and layers and layers on top of who you really are. But you can't let your true being shine with all of that crap covering you. If you want to think of it like a Christmas carol, Marley, the ghost that has all the chains and all the baggage and all that crap that he drags around, and it makes him sluggish and slow, and he's bogged down by all of this stuff. And that's how I have felt my whole life. And, always trying to do it right, trying to do what's best for everybody, or what I thought was best for everybody. Meanwhile, completely forgetting that I had needs too. But I was so wrapped up in, trying to be the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect whatever, perfect daughter, perfect person, that I completely covered up who I actually am. And now that I'm starting to uncover that, it is like I have just shed all of that stuff, and it's just one chain dropping off after another. And it is a feeling of elation, is really the only word I can think of, to be in that mindset. And the law of attraction is real, karmic law, whatever you want to call it. What you put out, you get back. But if you can't find your light to bring it out and let it shine, after years and years of dimming your light, hiding your light, covering it up of everyone else's expectations, if you have to find it within yourself to be able to bring it out. And I feel like I have had 49 years of dimming my light because I didn't want people to feel bad. I didn't want to, I didn't want to. It's hard for me to express in words sometimes. I know the feeling is here, but sometimes it's very difficult for me to express it in words. But maybe I'm meant to do this. I'm starting fresh, and I have shed all of that crap. Like, each link on those chains was something that I felt I should do, or I had to do, or that, society says you have to do this. And the more I learn, the more I heal, the more I find out who I really am, the more of those chains just break off. And the feeling of lightness, light, truth, authenticity, now that I'm actually starting to see it in myself, is truly amazing. I want that for each and every person. I really hope, I hope you get there. And I still have a long way to go. If you stop learning, there's no life. So I'm always going to keep striving, learning. If you want to come on this journey with me, awesome. It's wonderful. But I don't know. The main thing is you have to stop shitting on yourself. Stop putting up the walls. Stop hiding who you truly are. I mean, I didn't know who I truly was until I started shedding that stuff and just letting it go and being unashamedly me. So many of those chains were shame and guilt and negativity, and it just gets you stuck in this horrible spiral of victim mentality. And I got so tired of that. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And the feeling now of connectedness and alignment and I'm really having a hard time putting words to this. Where I am now compared to where I've been is a complete 180. Complete 180. And I am so excited to really find out what my future is going to be like, because I don't plan on letting this feeling go. It feels too good to be in my true authentic self. When I feel connected and get in the flow, when I'm talking to somebody, when a lot of times I'll be talking to my mom and, we'll be talking about a problem or trying to work things out or something like that. But I get very inspired talking to my mom. Mom, I love you. And because for some reason, that's when all of a sudden, the flow starts. And I don't know where it comes from. It comes from source, obviously, somewhere, God, universe, source, inner being, whatever you want to call it, however you feel comfortable with calling it. It is all the same thing. It all comes from here. And the more you can connect with that on an authentic, pure level, the more your vibration is just going to keep going up. And the past few weeks, especially after the eclipse, I kind of went into a crazy downward spiral of, what everything means. I try to put meaning to everything because I know that everything is a lesson. And, crappy stuff happens. And if you can't learn the lesson from it, and I believe Maya Angelou said that you do better until you know better. And then, or do your best until you know better, then do better. And I love that saying. I love that quote. But yeah, I started meditating. I used to kind of cringe at that word because, I don't have a lot of, church background, religion background, though I went to church a lot. I've been to many different churches. Actually, religion completely blows my mind. How everything is, every single one is so similar, but still so different. But a lot of it is based on fear. And I've had to get over a lot of speed bumps and learn that, it's all the same thing. It all comes from source. And, source, God, universe, whatever you feel comfortable connecting to, that's what's going to bring the joy out in you. And I've started chasing my own joy. And it started last year when I started doing the face painting and stuff like that, after a long time of ghost hunting and a lot of negativity. A lot of negativity was in there. And I wanted something that made me feel lighter, but I was still holding on to so many of those bags. And now that I've started letting those bags go of, what I thought was expected of me, what I thought I had to do, that was all just a false self. That was not me. I was buried in there somewhere. And I am absolutely loving the person I'm digging out of that. As those chains and those layers of bullcrap and self-imposed masks, as they're coming off, it's just this feeling of peace. And I'm starting to find joy in the little things. I mean, like I said, I just turned 49, and for the first time in my life, I don't want to self-sabotage. I don't want to, conform. I'm doing all this for me and the people I love, me, my kids, and it's incredible. And the more I stay in that, and I try to stay in that higher vibration, and a lot of people call it praying. The way it's always been in my mind, I have thought of prayer as asking for something, meditation is listening. So I really like the idea of meditation a little bit better, because most of the time we don't know what our highest is. We get inspired from the divine in one way or another. And if you think you know how that's supposed to work out, Source will pop in and be like, no, you need to be going this way. And if you fight that, it's not good to fight it. So, choose the path of least resistance with the most joy, the most connection. Really live in the moment. The moment is all we have. The past is past. And the future, you don't know what your future is. Nobody knows what our future is. But the more I stay in this feeling of alignment and authenticity, and really digging down to know who I am, what I want, what I want to be surrounded with. They say the 5 closest people to you in your life, you take on their vibrations and their attitudes and all of that. And if you look around and the 5 people you're closest to are in, negative victim mentality, just woe is me and all this other stuff, it's very hard to get out of that. It is very difficult to pull yourself up and see any kind of light. It's very hard seeing the light at the end of the tunnel when you're so stuck in the tunnel, especially when you're looking backwards and trying to figure it out. And I'm very scientifically minded. I've always tried to figure everything out, try to fix it, I've always been a fixer. And, there's a lot of things you just can't fix. Go with the serenity prayer. That got me through for years, even in the darkness, See, I don't know it exactly, but I know the general understanding of it, which is, help me out here. Help me to understand, help me to see the things I can change. No, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to stop and look it up right now, but you know what I'm talking about. See, the judgment's kicking in now. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you look like an idiot. But you know what? That's okay. This is me. This is my truth. Sometimes my brain isn't totally on fire. Sometimes it is, though, and that's great. But you can only do your best, and that's enough. It really is enough. If you're in your truth and you stay in your truth, wake up every morning before you get out of bed. Set your intention for the day. I know that sounds woo-woo. I know a lot of this sounds woo-woo, but it's so important. Just set your intention. Today is going to be an amazing day, and there's going to be speed bumps. People are going to try to knock you off that little pedestal. And if you create your center in the morning, first thing in the morning, and just say, I'm going to hold this vibration all day. And even if somebody tries to knock me off, that's an opportunity for you to look at that situation and say, okay, what is this triggering in me? And what do I need to learn from this? Because if I'm getting triggered, that's not a true part of me. That's something that's trying to break off of you. And just get back up on that little pedestal, and keep riding it with the best feelings and intentions you can. And the more you stay in that vibration, the more beauty you'll see, the more joy you'll see, the more love you feel for everything, everyone around you, the more compassion you have, the more gratitude. Gratitude is huge. You've got to be just thankful. And even if you don't truly feel it to your core, just starting with saying, every day, 3 to 5 things you're truly grateful for. And, sometimes you feel like you don't mean it. Sometimes you feel like, imposter syndrome kicks in and you feel like, no, I can't do that, or I can't truly feel grateful for that. Be grateful that you can see that in yourself. Be grateful that you really try to see you. Because, for me, she was in there. She was screaming to get out. I've known a very, very long time there's been a light in me, but I've dimmed it for so long, not non-egoically. I've been through a lot of ego too, don't get me wrong. But I have dimmed my light to not rock the boat, and not spoken my truth, and not told people how I feel because of their reactions. And, that doesn't mean I'm going to turn into a jerk and tell everybody, well, you're like this, and you're like this, and you're like this. No, it's not about judgment. It's not for me to judge, because all of us have these issues. Everyone has all these layers and layers of chains and masks and stuff like that. And the more you work to finding out who you truly are, the more joy you're going to have. The more light's going to shine. And the more you're going to find your true alignment. And it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And for the first time in my life, I am happy to be alive, and I'm excited for my future. And I'm not trying to self-sabotage and just, God, I want all this to be over. Just get me through it. Get me done. I'm not in that place anymore. And it's wonderful. I've never had a zest for life. Like I felt like I tried to force it. And you can't force it. But when you're in flow, and when you're aligned with yourself and who you are, and, living in the moment and the joy of every moment, it's there. It's there. And once you start seeing it and believing it, you're going to feel it. And the feeling is fantastic. The goosebumps are insane. I used to call them, when I really kind of started going through, I guess you can call it a spiritual awakening, I guess. A lot of people think that's woo-woo too. But really, that's what it is when you start really diving into it. Excuse me. But it was really, I could see glimmers of it. They say glimmers are those little exciting sparks of light in certain situations. Aim for those glimmers. Those glimmers are what can change your life. And life is beautiful. If I had to deep dive into why we're here, why I'm here, why, my purpose, my motivation, all of that. And once I started really figuring that out, we are here to experience this life. And for so many of us, we get caught in that negative spiral, and it's sad. It's so sad. And I know it's sad. It's painful. I've been there. But there's a way out of it. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's unlike anything I even thought was possible. And, it's not any certain person or thing, or, it's nothing you can buy. Nothing you can buy. It's nothing outside of you. You know, it's not this chair, it's not the yard, it's not a tree, it's not, you know, it's not a new car, it's nothing you can buy at all. It's here. It is inside you. And until you start letting go of all the people pleasing, of all the baggage you have picked up, that is not your baggage to carry. It's not. And your own baggage you shouldn't be carrying as well. You know, when you go on a trip, yeah, you need some baggage, but the baggage are lessons. And if you can learn those lessons, or at least try to muddle through it, you know, you're not always going to see the lesson right away. So in those cases, you got to follow your heart, and your heart will show you what the way is. And that's really what I've learned. And literally, I've been meditating and going down this spiral since one day after the eclipse. One day. Like, just, we're talking, what, 2 weeks? It was on the 8th. 20 days. Oh, crap. So 20 days. I'm a different person. And I love it. Like, I guess I'm not a different person. I guess I'm really who I am. I just never saw it. I never saw what was inside. And I really like what I'm seeing inside for the first time ever. And it's a great feeling, because I am so excited about feeling this way moving forward with my life, because I can't wait to see what kind of magic happens. I've always believed in magic. I've always thought of myself as a magical person, you know, and a teacher and all that. And I'm going to be moving forward with all that, and I'm chasing that magic because it's amazing. And I really hope some of you guys follow me. If it resonates with you, awesome. If you're already gone, no problem. That's your journey, that's your path. Choose your path. And the path of least resistance, you know, if it feels tight, let it go. You know, in any situation, if it feels heavy, that's your intuition talking to you. That's your gut. That's your instincts. Like, that's there for a reason. That's your, you know, that's God. That's the angels. That's your, you know, your guides, however you see it. They're telling you this isn't right. This isn't in alignment with who you're meant to be and who you truly are. And if you ignore that, it just gets worse, because, you know, it just keeps going down that spiral. And so find out who you are. And once you start finding out who you are, the magic starts happening. And I'm getting goosebumps now. And it's beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And I just hope that every single person I meet the rest of my life is able to feel it. You know, everyone I've met up till now, like any person I come into contact with, I hope in some way they get to feel this, because I feel like this is the goal. You know, we're meant to be here to enjoy this life experience. You know, we're here to learn. And if you're not learning the lessons and you're caught in that nasty spiral, you know, what are you learning? So follow your highest, follow your joy, follow your heart, follow everything. Anything that leads you to a lighter feeling, you know, having a lighter presence. It's all there for you. I'm not dragging anybody to it, but if I'm called to do more of these videos, I truly felt called to do this one. And now I see why, because it just started flowing, didn't it? So, welcome to my new world. And I hope to see all of you again soon. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for staring at me, you know, raw, no makeup, no hair done, no nothing. And I hope to see you guys in the future, and I hope you follow your heart and Chase that calling. Listen to those callings. Those callings are there for a reason. All right? I love you guys. So much love going out to everybody. Love, light, whatever you want to call it. It's just beautiful. Okay? I will see you soon. Bye.